And Max, what are the risks of not understanding subsurface conditions before and after construction, and how they can affect projects and communities? I think that's really important to point out.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, put simply, if you don't understand the subsurface, you're building blindfolded. Unforeseen ground conditions can hold multiple risks for projects, and they're actually one of the top reasons for claims and overruns. There are two potential scenarios if you don't properly investigate the ground risks, and either you must over-engineer the project to try and compensate. This will inevitably lead to higher cost, more material usage, and a heavier environmental impact. Or even worse, you could end up with projects having defects or failures, leading to health and safety issues. And, to remediate those, it can be orders of magnitude higher cost to fix it. So we always find that, a dollar invested in smart ground investigations at the start of the project and leading on to modelling will almost always reduce costs later on down the line. And you mentioned communities there. The stakes are human as much as they are technical. Specifically in the case of tunnels, these are vital pieces of infrastructure that are connecting communities, providing economic opportunities. And if tunnels need to be closed for investigation and remediation, there are direct impacts on people and the direct impacts on businesses as well. Really, in my mind, the antidote to this is a living view of the subsurface. So it's taking the borehole information, the geotech, and the monitoring information as well, putting it into a 3D model, quantifying that uncertainty, and using that insight to guide the design, responsive operations, and turning those surprises into managed risks.
Yeah, and that manage risks is really important. But I think it's important to share cases where it's not been so successful. So, for example, have you seen cases where a lack of subsurface knowledge led to project delays, for example, or failures? And what can we learn from those failures?
Yeah, unfortunately, those projects are all too common and not often advertised for obvious reasons. But we deal with clients all the time that are in a situation where they're trying to remediate things where they've already had issues. It's a risk that's absolutely worth avoiding. And I'm based in the UK, and we've seen several companies, have significant financial impacts of projects that have gone wrong because of ground conditions and because they didn't understand the subsurface.